Welcome to the ASC live stream. My name is Adam Jewell, and with me, as always, is Babe. Babe, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you guys?
And Brendan's here too.
So are you guys sort of throwing me out here? But I'm not always with you anymore. So
I know. I was just
that's
saying
why
last time it was Babe with me, so
That's
like
right.
he's the new guy.
Yeah, it's a.
But when's the last time we've all been together, guys?
It's
been a
true.
while.
True. Yeah, I don't think I've been on a live stream in like almost 2 months.
Like live stream.
Yeah, true.
You guys have had a couple pre-recorded. We talked about that last time. When you weren't with us because you were too busy being back home visiting family and friends, thinking that's better than us. But whatever.
You got to do it every once in a while.
You do, and
So what's been on with you guys since I haven't really talked to y'all that much?
It's summertime, like the Fresh Prince said back in the early '90s.
And Babe,
we'll get to some of it here later, well, my daughter's getting married here in a couple months. So,
Hey.
What do you think we do?
are you getting roped into a lot of that?
No.
Okay.
No. he nods. No.
Just checkbook.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, good. Yeah, it's nice to be back here. I kind of actually missed it, being away for a couple months and getting back on here and doing the old routine here. I'll start off by saying, I threw out on social media, I think it was last week or something like that, and I'm going to do it again. I think our next live stream, which you're both more than welcome to come to, will be, I think we're going to do the sci-fi one. I think that, so unless you have any objection, your body language there, Adam, told me that you weren't thrilled with that idea.
The thing is, Brendan, I really don't like any of your ideas ever, so it's
Fair.
No.
So, yeah.
No, it sounds good. No,
Yeah.
and I'm assuming you got a chance to watch Babe and I's live stream. Maybe you didn't. We talked bad about you, but we talked that one of these days, I think it would be good to cover a kind of like a ASC type, like safety protocol, type deal, because we never did.
Yeah.
I mean, you had a lot of the pre-recorded live streams and stuff during that whole Titan submersible fiasco like a month and a half ago. So, and it kind of, it brought up a lot of stuff like within the news and whatever about like safety precautions and what are the standards for that kind of thing. So granted, a little bit different worlds between like a submarine and a underwater habitat, but still wanting to have
not too far off.
Sure, but obviously a need to have safety features. So I thought one of these days I think we should dedicate one to like how will we maintain safety.
I like that. That's good. Yeah, the only reason I'm pushing the sci-fi one is because the Meg 2 just came out, so which I want to go see because there's going to be an underwater habitat somewhere in that thing, and I got to see that. So it goes back to that. But that's another topical one. We need to probably do some research on it and bust out here pretty soon too.
I know you can't read this,
Yes.
but this is sticky notes, and all that's on here is sci-fi video games and movies titles that I've been writing down as I come across them.
Nice. I need to share the file I've got so you can just like throw them in there then.
Yeah.
We almost need to, well, maybe just me, but go back and watch the one we did a few years ago and kind of like go over what we talked about.
Build on it.
Yeah.
God, that wasn't even a live stream, was it? Was that just a podcast?
It was just a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's no graphical stuff to it whatsoever. So yeah, this will be fun.
I like it.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll try to do that one in like 2 weeks for all you peeps out there. But there's been a lot of stuff going on, like in the last, especially like the last week, but in the last couple of months here, that I wanted to go over. But before I start diving into everything that I got my notes for, was there anything else that you guys had thought about or that had come up, noteworthy, underwater worthy, or just life worthy?
If you want life worthy, looking at the new camera setup, from what I see, I feel like I should have a halo or something from the way the lighting is.
Very
here,
true.
you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that
I
you
know,
point it
not
out.
underwater related, but at least my background is.
Yeah, it's true. All right. Well, one thing, I mean, we got several things. I don't even know which one to go, but actually, you know what? We'll hop this one. Babe, you got something to show off that we've been talking about for quite a while now, and finally able to show this off. You know, I'm excited about it. So
here we go. I'm going to raise it into view.
Yes.
And
nice.
So this is the 3D model print, the first run of, you know, what was made up, and just to show you, so you know, ASC is always, at least for now, still have the idea that this is the part. There's going to be a base, and this will be
You got it.
drawn down
And show that little moon
onto
pool.
that base.
Show that little moon pool in there. Yeah.
So there's a built-in. I have it lined up. There I am. There's a built-in moon pool here that would line up if it's done with that base. That, of course, you know, this is a 3D model, so then there could be the real thing. As far as engineering, might not be exactly this, but this is really close to the concept. It's going to get drawn down to a base and secured there.
Yeah.
And that makes that interchangeable to anything.
Yeah.
You can have anything set down in there.
Very cool. Very cool.
So hopefully the next time you see it, I'll have it painted, because I started to look what kind of paints I need to use just to get some detail on it.
Nice.
Am I holding it where everyone can see it?
Very cool.
Like a shark like biting around it or something like that.
Oh yeah, get the Meg. You know, we'll put the Meg by it.
So if I had these back in high school, my idiot friends on all my drawings of like Sequest or underwater habitats, they'd always draw barbed wire. Like they take my drawings, they'd steal them from me, and then draw barbed wire around it all the time. Like, you idiots, leave my stuff alone. That was a joke. To this day, if I bring it up, they just die laughing because how stupid it was. Whatever. It says security, but whatever. So anyway, yeah, that's I think that's the biggest thing that, you know, in my opinion, that we've done.
Yes. Yeah, that's and like I say, painted and paint it, and I'll try to, you know, get some good close-up video and stuff of it to send. That if you want to insert it, or pictures that you want to insert it in here, you can.
And you could probably, I think, you know, structure, I don't know, but you probably could cut those windows out. If you have like an X-Acto knife or something along those lines, you probably could. I don't know if you want to or not, but you probably could.
I got a little Dremel tool, a little hobby
Dremel.
Dremel tool that would take them right out without a problem. It's just, to me, I'd want to actually fill it with something.
Yeah.
So then finding, you know,
like
something clear.
Colored plastic or something behind it.
Wow, I just thought of the right thing to use. So a phone, the cheap, like, not even cheap. Wow.
Screen protector.
Break. Yeah, the screen protector things.
Oh, yeah.
But that just an actual plastic, not the glass kind.
Right.
And cut one of those to shape, because all you have to do is glue it from the back.
That'd work out pretty good.
Very cool.
Now you need to get yourself like an aquarium to put it in,
right?
And then we can
see.
Then we can start doing some structural testing.
Well, yeah, that's my plan. Is when I get mine, is to put it in the fish tank at the bookstore.
Cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. Thank you for showing that off. I'm glad you finally got it.
Yes, thank you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So the other thing that's been going on, which is kind of shocking news to an extent, was that I saw that Thane, you know, our friend Thane that we went and spent time with down there at Jules. He was traveling, so I thought, it was just a vacation. But then it seemed like it was a little bit different than that. So I started looking at his profile, and everything was like former. So he's no longer with Jules. And so I was like, wow. So I checked Jules to see what was going on there. They got a whole new website, by the way. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that in here in the comments, because it's a beautiful website. I think it's what they need. Like I said, I offered to do the website like a year ago, just because they needed something updated. It hadn't changed for years, but the new one is fresh. It looks good. So I reached out to him, Teresa. I shot her an email and said, hey, you know, what's going on? Are you guys okay? Saw Thane left. You guys' website looks amazing, all that kind of stuff. She shot back a really quick email. It says that, hey, everything's going good. Just Thane's no longer with them. So I shot Thane a message, just thanking him for everything he's in for the dive community and for me with my kidney stones when I was down there, and that hope he's doing well. But he's basically said, that a lot of it comes around the fact that his whole purpose was he's writing a book. His wanted to write a book about La Chalupa and then Jules as well. And so part of him going down there initially was just research type of thing, and it just turned into more than that. And so he was able to get the book done like he wanted to do while working day in and day out at Jules. So he's taking some time off to work on that. So I thought, very cool. So I said, I can't wait to read that book because that'll be interesting.
Yeah, it will.
So yeah, that was a little bit of topical news that kind of relates to us secondhandly or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah. So look at my notes here. What I want to talk about next. So one thing that we haven't spent much money on anything in quite a while. Just been trying to save up the savings account and be frugal with the money. But one thing I've been thinking about is doing more marketing for the brand. And so one thing, and Babe, you don't even know about this. I just told Adam about the other day that I've hired a guy in Fiverr to build like a 30-second, 45-second long video that I'm going to use the boost out to local community and possibly like the New Orleans community and stuff along those lines to just generate interest and look for help, whether it's focus the dive community and people that are interested in this type of thing, and see who I can get locally to either set up networking events, maybe like host a dinner or something along those lines, to work on finding funding through formats like that, as well as just once again hitting on that brand. Who is ASC? What are we doing? Getting our name out there, trying to get me in front of more stuff. I don't think I've talked about it since, but I had that Lunar conference. Have we talked about that in the live stream?
I don't think we have.
Yeah, so I did that Lunar conference. It's about 3 weeks ago, I guess it was. I spoke on that. So once again, it's just another speaking gig. That's one reason I took it. I did horrible on it, but I was there either way. But it's just more speaking stuff, getting the name out there, branding the name out there, anything we can do to get ASC out there and get it become more of a name in the community. I think, like I said, there's not too many of us out there, so it's not too hard to do. But, we got the Seasetting Institute. I just got an email from Carly just a couple days ago. She's asking some questions. So keeping that networking up and communicating with people and growing that networking base, I think is important. And then that's what I'm going to try to do with these videos, this video, I guess it is, boost that out there to the local community and then possibly different communities around here, ones in traveling distance where I can go down and speak at or something like that, or especially with New Orleans, be boosting that before DEMA to get that going too. And speaking of DEMA, I did see something about that. I need to fill out some forms and stuff like that to try and see what it's going to take to get us there. So I should be working on that here soon too. But anyway, that's the only other thing really directly marketing business-wise that I've got as far as ASC goes for right now. Thoughts, questions, comments?
The video, is that something that we'll have in a shareable format as far as like I could put them on social media and I don't know, have it on my iPad and show someone at a dive shop or something?
I'm hoping so. I don't know. So I left it kind of up to the guy. I said, here's what I want. Here's what I got. And I sent a bunch of videos and stuff like that. And all of his other work looks pretty amazing. So we'll see. But yeah, the whole plan is being very vague from the standpoint that it can be used anywhere, but it's more of like a call to arms, like, hey, here's ASC, here's what we're doing. If you want to be involved, get a hold of this type of thing. It's kind of how I'm hoping it plays out. So I may have to talk to him a little bit more, but he's working on it as of last night. So he just started on it. So I should know something probably within a few days. But yes, 100%. That's the plan is to make it more of a. I had made one years and years ago for ASC, but it was the old logo. So that's how, the very original logo. So it's been years ago. So we needed something new. We got that one video we made, that little commercial thing that's at the beginning of the live stream or the live stream. But I wanted something a little different than that too. More asking for help versus just like what we are type of thing. So yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how that turns out. Hopefully pretty good.
Yeah.
So I think that.
Thank God for Fiverr, by the way.
Yeah.
We've gotten so much like
Good
cool
stuff.
material and met like a lot of good creators from that thing.
Mhm.
It's a godsend. I'm glad we have that.
So something else I started doing, I've only done 2 of them so far, is our podcast. If people don't know, we've got a podcast, and then I'll link it into the chat there. But we've got a podcast, and most of these live streams I turn into podcasts for people to listen to later. But I decided I'm going to start putting more content out there. So every once a week, I've been putting out content. Like I said, this is the second week, and just like little shorts. The first one was just a real quick, the story of ASC and the story of me, and then the one I did yesterday was just all about why from a personal, why underwater habitats. And that one was unscripted, so it's a lot of me just floundering type of thing. But I felt it's more raw and real versus the first one. So that's something I'm going to do to get more content out there and try to get some more, push that podcast a little bit more. So that's something out there for anybody that's interested, that's watching this later, because there's not too many people watching now. Which brings us to the next point, which you all know about, but anybody who's watching this at a later date, is that we're making some changes to the live stream. We've been doing this for a couple of years now, and the viewer count hasn't really changed that much. That's fine, because we get views later on after the fact. And I think that most live streams anymore, that's pretty much what you get is views afterwards. So there's no sense of us doing it live then if we're going to get the views afterwards. But I think the one thing that people like is being able to interact when we do have guests on here. If we do have like a very topical, had that's been a themed episode, we probably would have had more people in here and people asking questions. But it's pretty vague. So one thing that I think we're going to try is we're going to move the live streams to only Patreon only. So like the sci-fi episode will be the first one that's on Patreon only, which does a couple things. The Tuesday night ones will still be here. We'll just take that video and post it on Tuesday night for people who want to tune in and watch it then. It's just that you won't be able to interact because it's pre-recorded. But it allows us freedom to record these when the time that works better for us. So Tuesday nights, if we got something going on, I don't have to call you guys last minute to try to get something going, or it frees us up to film at different times. And then we can do some editing after the word fact too, so we don't have to be as careful if we, because our Patreon guys are a little bit more VIP.
But having said that, we would still want to keep it somewhat.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Because if we're having the Patreon people, we'll at least want to let them know when it is, rather than just whenever we're willy-nilly when we want.
No, we'll still schedule it out. Yeah, we'll still schedule it out. Hopefully a week in advance, because we'll be recording this stuff earlier too. But it's that, and also one of the things is, am I breaking up?
Nope.
Okay, that's my low signal. I'd love to get people on like Fabian Cousteau or something along those lines, and that's going to probably take some money to get people like that on. So if we I hate putting things behind a paywall. I think it's like really like a money grab type of thing. But at the same time, we couldn't open something like that up to the general public, something like that, and let just anybody on the internet jump in there and be asking questions. So something like that would have to do that. So it feeds two things. It allows us to, if nobody else signs up for Patreon and we get something like that, you guys are in for a treat, because there'll be just a few Patreon members are getting that VIP treatment with somebody like that, or if we can do that, or just any stuff like that moving down the future. Obviously, that's a lofty goal, but stuff like that. So that's kind of where I'm at with the whole thing. As always, I'm open to suggestions or concerns or questions about it, but I think it's something we should try and just see how it plays out. Because I think maybe like Saturdays or Sunday afternoons are maybe better days to record stuff for most of us. And then same times, if we're trying to do interviews with people, we don't have to tie them into only Tuesday night as well. If some other day or during the day works better for them, I can be a little more flexible to hop on there and do that too. So yeah, that's most of it. Here's I'll get to it at the end as well, but there's a Patreon for anybody that might be watching that wants to jump in there. You'll go through it at the end of the episode here, but our lowest Patreon is $5 a month. What? It says Facebook won't let me post a Patreon link for some reason.
It says it showed up in the chat.
Yeah, but it gave me an error.
Oh.
Anyway, I'll post it again.
Quit your complaining. Okay?
So, yeah, that's where I'm at with all that. So you guys will definitely benefit because you're all Patreon members. Well, I mean, you're always invited either way, so it doesn't really matter from that standpoint in time. But yeah, I'm excited to see where that goes. I feel so as I was on vacation, I listened to a bunch of different marketing stuff, and I was listening to a bunch of different business, just thinking. Got to sit with my old friend who's also my former boss as well, and we just talking business. Like every night, we just sat outside talking business, just generalized, and so it got me thinking and stuff like that. So I feel often like Elon Musk and the full self-driving, that it's going to be ready this year. And I feel like that's how we are with ASC and the habitat, that we keep on. It's going to be soon. It's going to be soon, and it very well could be. A lot of it just always depends on funding. So it's one of those things where I don't want to keep on saying, "Hey, we're about ready to build this thing. We're about ready to build this thing," and look like not like a fool, but people are like, whatever. I keep on hearing that type of thing. So it's one of those things where I'm dedicated on getting that sucker built as soon as possible. But I think that in the meantime, while that's brewing, building brand recognition, getting out there, doing interviews, getting people on here to network with people that may know people, stuff like DEMA, all these different types of events and stuff along those lines, of just pure networking to get this done, I think is a path for, right now at least, unless somebody has some good money, which I wasn't going to mention this. You don't know about this either, babe. So some more news for you that's been coming around. But
do I know about this?
Huh?
Do I know about this?
Yeah, they're going to talk about email that one guy.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a guy that I emailed back and forth for a year now, I think. I think one of his emails was November of last year. I don't know who the guy is because he won't do phone calls and stuff along those lines. It's just email. But every time he emails, it is literally a book that I have to read. And he's got ideas for underwater habitat. And so we've been talking quite a bit about it, different designs and different ideas. And he just shot me an email the other day out of the blue. It had been a while since I heard from him. And he's like, hey, I'm interested in throwing a habitat off of Galveston. And basically the whole purpose is, I think, looking at energy. He's got an idea for how to get away from batteries and use some other form of energy. He's got something, I don't know what it is. And he wants to do a test of underwater habitat off of Galveston. He says, I've got the money to help fund a lot of it, and we'll find donors and sponsors and stuff along those lines. So I said, man, let's talk. So who knows what will come of that? I mean, like I told him, I said, if you're not willing, if we can't do a Zoom or talk on the phone and stuff along those lines, I'm not interested in going down too far in this rabbit hole because I want to know who I'm working with, for one thing, that we mesh. Here's our core values. I shot him the last email. Here's what's important to me. Here's what needs to happen. And if we can make that meet, great. I'm not willing to sacrifice just to try to get the thing done.
Under someone else's terms.
Yeah, exactly. We put all this work in. And even though he says he's been working on it since, I think, the 80s or something along those lines, maybe, good for him. I understand the frustration and the struggle. And I saw Joseph Bishop was like this. I don't know if he's still watching or not, but he knows how it is. I mean, he's been working with Dennis Chamberlain, for which I'd love to get him back on here. Either one of them, Joseph or Dennis, and just talk about where they're at with their whole thing and see what's been going on with them. Because it's a struggle. I remember when first talking to Dennis, I figured this will be a cakewalk raising money. It's not that, whatever. It's not. It's a whole lot harder than I thought it was going to be. So. Yes, it'd be great to partner with more people and to get this done, but we have to all be on the same page, and that's usually the problem, I think, too. So,
well, I'm going to throw this out there before I lose it. As far as the interviews, especially if persons are willing to pay for Patreon to see interviews with a specific person. Shoot us who that person is, let us know. Let's see if we can get with them.
Yeah, because I mean, I totally understand. Yeah, you just want to see this one person. You pay for 1 month. I mean, it's $5 to get involved with that guy. That's pretty cheap. If you just do 1 month just to get that one person, I totally suspect people would do that. Yeah, absolutely.
So hopefully it will lead to more.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that's going to be on me to make sure there's value there to keep people to stay. I think people and well right now just see the vision or in just supporting because they see the vision. But I need to get that web store working for one thing. Stupid thing. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I agree. That's good. That's a good point. I think that's smart. Yeah, we can put that out there too because I plan on making some marketing, some social media stuff, and posting out here about these changes and about the plans. I might even shoot a video and throw it out there. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had. The only thing I was going to so I don't know if you know about this app or not, babe. It's called Buddy. It's a dive app.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I was go ahead.
I was gonna say I signed up or started putting stuff on there like last week. I think
Okay.
it was.
So they were on one of the podcasts I was listening to. Saltwater. That's who it was. Anyway, and they're talking about their affiliate program. Did you hear all about that?
I don't think so. No, it's not ringing a bell.
So anyway, so I signed up for it, and they're supposed to reach out to you. They haven't yet, but I just did it yesterday, so I'm not whatever. So that might be nice for us, but they're big into networking. They've been at DEMA. They gave away a Hawaiian trip to some people that won and all this kind of stuff. So they've done a bunch of cool stuff. But they've got some sort of an affiliate program too, and I'm interested in because that might be cool if we can help them out and it helps us out in the same time. I've always wanted to do some kind of affiliate thing, whether it was some kind of dive gear. I thought that would mesh good with what ASC is trying to do. So if it could be like masks or flippers or snorkels or something along those lines, great. I'll push it all day long. I'll buy another set for me. So I'm not exactly sure what it is. So I filled out the form. We'll see if I hear back from them or not. But yeah, they seem very, very keen into working with the community. And even outside the community, they're just trying to grow their brand and grow who they are. And this is one of the ways they're doing it. So I don't know. Just thought I'd throw it out there. If anybody else wants to sign up for, do you like the app? I've downloaded it. I haven't done anything with it yet.
Yeah, so far it's. I think it's probably building. People on it. Like when Facebook's first started, you gotta have persons on it to drive it, and I think it's building up because right now it updates. I don't know. I'll say like every 2 weeks or something where people outside of my circle that I've kind of followed trying to make it work. But so far, and there's actually the guy or the lady who made it and another person. They have a podcast. And they talk about issues of it like every week or every 2 weeks or whatever, just little blips and updates on it and how-to things about just that's one of the things they touch on. And for the life of me, I can't remember the name of that podcast, but I listened to it. The scuba diving podcast is the one that I was listening to. Yeah, that might be it. I don't remember.
I think that's with Kenny Dial.
I'm terrible with names when it comes to that.
We're off track here. But anyway, so yeah, that was one. They put out podcasts like every day. So yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, there's a plug for Buddy Dive app.
Buddy Dive.
Check it out. Free. Anyway. All right, guys. Well, unless there's anybody out there wanting to comment in here, which doesn't appear to be, which is quite all right.
It's all right.
Well, here, I'm typing my comment in. I want to see Dr. Joe on.
I saw how I got some of the people that are watching right now. So, but no, thank you Babe for hopping in here for a short one tonight. But I'm glad we got to show off that. I'm glad you finally got it because I've really been. I wasn't sure what the size was going to look like, how it's going to look like, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, very cool.
Yeah, if I could get Logan interested, I showed you. I showed you what he was capable of, and just like, wow, if he could do that, because it was huge. I just could not believe how big that was.
Yeah,
amazing.
Just have him print like a life-size one.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
just get a couple of it.
Make that steel.
Yeah, you might have to honeycomb the inside.
They have been making steel 3D printers now.
Yeah.
They got
Yeah.
carbon fiber, they got steel, they got everything. They got food ones even.
Yeah, concrete.
Yeah, concrete too. Yeah, it's 3D printing is. I mean, I still think it's in its infancy, kind of like AI and stuff like that. But you combine those two together, you're gonna be able to just like sit back and it's gonna change things.
What did I see them 3D printing body parts? I'm not kidding. Like
Yeah.
human body parts.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep.
Skull caps and stuff along those lines. I've seen those. Yeah. All right. Well, Adam, you know what time it is.
Tool time. Okay. All right, guys. AtlanticSeaColony.com. That's where that's where the magic happens. So if you go to AtlanticSeaColony.com, you can get all of our socials. We're talking Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, the TikTok. We're on YouTube. I'm sorry. I don't know. Can we call it Twitter? Is it X now?
It's X.
Yeah,
Okay.
X now, yeah.
I'm gonna keep calling it Twitter for a while because I don't think people understand that it's changed yet. So,
Yep.
The Elon Musk social media platform, we're on that. So whatever version you want to go with. Also, link to our Discords in there. Join that. We got a lot of fun conversations going on in there. It's a cool thing about the Discord is a lot of people that have a lot of ideas kind of toss them around or whatever, and opens up a lot of good discussion, whether it's about like utilities, locations, and people just like share videos of cool stuff they found. And yeah, it's just it's a fun little community that we're growing there. So
it's sometimes get to a hand.
You know what? It keeps conversations going, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's and that costs you nothing to join the Discord. So come on over and be a part of the community. Also, AtlanticSeaColony.com/merch. A lot of cool stuff over there. I finally remembered to wear my hat today, which I can't get the glare off of to save my life, but it's the Stingray hat. Babe's over there. He's got his Trident shirt on. And
Which,
then,
note on that design is a Babe design. He came up with that idea. He's like, hey, this is what I want.
Yeah.
I said, I'll make that happen, Babe.
Yeah, and he's like, and if you don't, he's like, I'm going to drive there and fight you.
That's right. With those Tridents.
And then Brendon is wearing a Batman shirt.
Yeah.
It's his company, and he's wearing a Batman shirt. Anyways, no, there's a lot of cool stuff you can get over there. Like I said, all types of apparel. There's water bottles, mouse pads, and stuffed animals, and whatever you could think of, we got it over there with a bunch of different types of designs too. So go over there, check it out. A little bit of, like when you buy stuff there, some of that comes to us. Everything's helpful. All right, the big one we were talking about, Patreon, guys. The live stream is moving to Patreon. So if you want to be a part of the live streams and like be able to continue to communicate with us while we're doing the episodes, that's the place to do it. So patreon.com/AtlanticSeaColony. Like I said, we have different tiers, and the cheapest one starts off at $5 a month. So, if you're able to help and you want to be active and participating in the live streams and just keeping up with us, that's a great way to do it. Different tiers that we have there. Like I said, $5 gets you right in and gets you a shout out on the live stream and all that. Also, sorry, I'm going to backtrack one quick second. On AtlanticSeaColony.com, that'll also get you the links to the podcasts as well, correct, Brendon? I said Brendon.
On what?
The podcasts. It'll get you a link to the podcasts.
Yes, it's all in there.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, thank you to our patrons. We have Brian Acosta, Matthew Cathy, Martin Reese, S. Babe Hyde. So thank you guys.
And you, like I said, updated. You're on there too, but
that's all right. I don't need to be included in there. So yeah, thank you guys for being a part of that. And I guess until next time, fellas, it's been a pleasure seeing you guys again.
Yeah. And
to everybody else, we will, like I said, this video will be on social medias, but if you want to be with us, be with Patreon. So, or if you want to interact with us, whatever. I've already said it. All right, thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.